to episode 2 of the AWeeDreamWorld podcast. My name is Shannon and I come to you from the northern part of Alberta in Canada. And this is still just as awkward as the first time I did this. Might not be as stressful because this time I don't have a toddler to worry about running around, so this might not be as bad. One of the things I will say is I do have company in the form of a bird up on the curtain pole, this little girl, and I have a dog over there. I guess, and a hamster back there. I have many animals, and most of them, like everyone except my Charlie downstairs, is up here. There is one other thing too is that I'm recording this at night, and we do have a wee bit of daylight, but it is fading. So if it starts getting really dark out, I might cut it and just close the curtains. And then, because I have one of those light things, so they'll still be light, but it won't be the same as daylight. So I guess last time I had 3 finished objects and that I had just done before, and I had 3 whips. Oh, and I will apologize beforehand, my bird sometimes will cheep. She's right now up there grooming, and if she tweaks a feather, like, you know when you're combing your hair and you get like a tangle and it hurts? Sometimes that happens when she's grooming her feathers, so she might cheep. Or you might see feathers fly down because she's grooming up there. But yeah, this time I don't have anything finished from the last time I showed. I have things that are very close to being finished, but I don't have anything that's done. But the things I can show you is I do have what I'm wearing, which is, this is a sweater, cardigan by Pickles. And I really enjoyed it, and it was really nice. It was one of those ones where, because with Pickles they have adult patterns and they have child patterns, and usually the kid patterns are just from like kids up to usually about 12 years old. And I remember when I saw this, because I'm subscribed to their email, and I saw this and it was on a little girl. It was a kid size. I thought, oh, I'd love that for myself in big sizes. And lo and behold, the pattern was for big sizes. So I knitted it and I love it. I think my gauge might have been off because I did run out of a little bit and I had to reorder the same color, like same colorway, but because it's a different dye lot, look at the difference. At first I was a little upset about it because it didn't look the same. It was, I mean, when you look at it, at any lighting, it's quite obvious. But then it grew on me, and I really, really enjoy it now, and it's warm. It's knit out of their Pickles Cozy, and it's just that, it's cozy. And the yarn is one of those ones where it's like a tube, and then it's like fleece just blown into the tube. On this one, the tube is polymade, and the fleece inside, it is baby alpaca and merino, I believe. And I love it. I'll link the thingy majiggers below, but I really love it. It's like, it's very boxy, like it's like box. And then you have 2 options that you can do the sleeve in. One of the options is you start decreasing as you get to the cuff, and the other option is just do the sleeve straight. I did my sleeve straight because I don't like tightness, and I think it turned out good. I didn't do the cuff the way it was described though. I actually did every single stitch, like every single stitch around. I did knit 2 together to make the cuff smaller, and that's all I did, and then I just did the same pattern with the stripes. I would recommend it. It's very cozy, it's very cute, and it's it's so funny because when I was knitting it, it's hard to tell, but my colors are, this is the pink, this is the green, and this is the blue. It's the exact colors that were on the one in the actual photo. But as I was knitting it, I thought this would look really nice as the main color being this dark navy color, and then having like lighter colors be the little flea thingies. And then they actually came out with one that was all blue, like, because you can buy them in kits, and you can buy one where the main color is this blue. So I wasn't the only one that thought of it. I thought that was cool. I have another one, another finished object to show you, which is kind of ratty right now, but it's to do with, I have yarn. I have acquisitions. So I will show you this guy when I talk about these guys. But the last time I talked about, I had a cardigan I was working on, and a long sleeve shirt I was working on, and a blanket for my son, who is starting preschool this fall, which blows my mind because it's less than a month away. And those two I have made quite a bit of progress on, and I will show you. So last time I showed you guys my rainbow cardigan, I had finished this. This is the back piece. It's superwash yarn with like neon rainbow speckles. And it is a free pattern you get on your inspirations. It's a great pattern. It's very, very simple. And I know some people don't like knitting back and forth, but for me, I learned to knit back and forth, so to me it's very simple. And this is very, very simple. It's just ribbing and then knit. And even the decreases are super simple, and the increases when you have the sleeves, because I'm on the sleeves now, very simple. So I have a back piece, and now I have two front pieces, which I'm only going to open one because they're a bit of a pain to sew up. But this is actually the one I was working on last time, which is, this is the right front, and it will go way down to like my hips, which I like. I'm short, so if I have a sweater that's short, it makes me feel wider than I actually am, so I like things to be longer on me, so it makes me feel taller. But I've got two of these guys now, and I have right here, and I have this much of sleeve number 1 done, which is, I don't know, laid on the wrist, and it goes up to about there. So I don't have much more. You do increases, like you do so many increases, so many rows apart, and then you increase that so that the sleeve starts to get longer, even though you're still increasing width. And I'm almost at the point where you stop increasing, then you just knit straight up. Something, I don't know if anyone would notice, but I'm knitting it on straight needles. Last time I did this, I was knitting it on circulars, but it was when I was still working on the side, and my knitting was downstairs, and I was upstairs, and when I went back downstairs, I found my dog had my knitting, and the knitting itself was fine, but she chewed up my needles, so I can't use them anymore, so I dug these guys out. These were the very first needles I ever owned, which is exciting. They're just basic to plastic. So that is, I guess, whip number 1. Whip number 2 is over here. This one, I haven't done any more on it except, finish this, but this is the back. This is the back piece. 1 second. Sorry about that. My dog was chewing something she shouldn't be. But this is the back piece. It is a Batwing Sweater, and it's knit in 2 pieces. So, it's like, and I think it should fit. I talked last time about how what I was doing with the sleeve. That with the sleeve, the pattern, see, I go by like square thingies, because if you look, the whole thing's, it's a lace pattern, but it makes squares. So when I looked at the pattern, I worked out how many rows it wanted me to do until it wanted me to start decreasing to go up the top of the sleeve to the neck. And it wanted me to do enough rows where there were 5 of these squares. So another 2 on top of this wide, and that's the sleeve. And there are no, like for the ribbing, there's nothing to make it scrunch in, so it would be a super wide sleeve. And I didn't want a super wide sleeve, so what I did is I just stopped knitting up straight when I got to 3, and then I started decreasing. And it looks awfully skinny, but this is going to block like that, and it's going to block like that, and it's going to be much bigger, so I'm not worried about the way the size is now at all. Yeah, I'm not worried about the size, because I was actually looking at it and I was starting to think to myself, I like, no, because it's Batwing, so it'll be like that, and then it's, well, maybe you can't see it, but the ribbing fits where my hips should be, which is good. But then I thought, but if I lift my arms up, it's gonna pull right up, and I don't want that. So I was concerned about that, but then I remembered I have swatched this before in this pattern with this yarn and blocked it, and it grows a lot and it puffs up a lot, and so I'm not worried. I also keep forgetting that there will be like at least this much ribbing on top around the neck. So that for now. And I can always force it to be bigger with blocking if it does turn out it's still too small, because once it's all seamed together I'll try it on and see how it fits. But I think it should be okay, and even if it's not, it's fun and it smells good. I love the smell of it, and yeah. So that was what was my whip number 2. My 3rd whip is this, and it is a blanket for, I'm sorry, my bed is right there, and my dog is on top of it. She's about 8 months old, and she was just chewing this. I took it off her, but I have quite a large collection of magazines and leaflet patterns. They're on my bed, and I've had to hide them under my blanket. She wants them, and I don't want her to have them, so I keep looking to make sure she's not uncovered them and eaten them, because she actually, the pattern leaflet that had this in it, she managed to get a hold of, and it could be better. It's not in a good state. So if I keep looking over there, I'm making sure she's not getting anything she shouldn't. But I think we're good. I think we're good. But have this is what I've been working on. This is one of my favorite things, because I said last time, every single square is different. Every single square is completely unique. And I have 3 skeins of yarn, and they're all different. I mean, like, these 2 are from the same skein. And then, I mean, they're so cool. And the idea is I want to use up as much of the skein as I can. I want to leave a teeny bit for seaming and stuff. But I'm making a blanket for him in honor of going to school. Excuse me. And we were actually at local supermarket getting school supplies, and even though they're acrylic yarns, I could not help but go and have a peek. Where I live, if you go in a supermarket, you're only going to find acrylic. You're not going to find anything. You're not going to find any wools unless you go to a wool shop. So we were there, and he picked out some rainbow yarn, and he really, really, really wanted it. And I thought, well, what could I make with this? Because there wasn't even enough to buy multiple skeins to make anything bigger. So I thought, well, we'll buy these, and I'll make a blanket. And I decided to do squares, because I always do, when I do a blanket, it's usually just one big granny square blanket. Like, I don't make multiple squares, it's just one square and it just grows. That's what I usually do, and I have quite a few of those. But I decided I wanted to make him granny square blanket, because last time I was at my grandmother's house, I saw she had a granny square, like, patchwork blanket, and I really liked it. I thought, I want one of those in my house. But I usually never have the patience for just making a little square and then sewing them. I'm not a huge fan of having to sew many things together like that. So, but this time I decided I'm gonna do it. The only drawback is I don't have enough of the yarn to make enough of these to make a substantial blanket, like anything bigger than like a baby blanket. But I have other acrylic yarn, so I'm gonna be adding what I actually already have to that. I have a kind of a gold yellow that I'm gonna use, and we'll see what else I have, because I'm thinking acrylic colors that will go with those, and I think I have some. So that, I guess, is my whip number 3. Now, oh no, I have another whip, right, because last time I talked about the Fiber Tales yarn I had bought and how I wanted to do this colorwork sweater and how it was going to be so cool, and I was really excited about it, and about how I was excited about it. Well, I started it, and I know some people do not like doing color work back and forth. I don't mind it, because the way I knit is like here are the two colors, the light one and I have the dark one. And the way I knit, like say I was going to knit with this gray, I would just, this is not the stitches, but I don't have the chart with me, I'm just, so it'd be awkward looking at it from behind. But I'd put my needle in, and then I would knit, and then say the next one is black, well then I would just move the yarn in front and then take the yarn that's already in front, put it back. And that's how I do it, back and forth. It is really time consuming, especially when you have to then remember that when you're on the purl side it's reversed. Instead of bringing the yarn forward, you put it back when you're not using it. I don't know what my knitting method is called. I just learned to knit watching YouTube videos. So that's all I know. I don't even remember what kind. I think it's meant to be, it might be British, the way I knit, because I have connections to Britain, and I remember I was kind of favoring Britain because of that, so it probably is a British style. Ooh, sorry. Kiko, come here. Yeah? You gonna be still? Gonna be a good girl? Are you bored? What can I give you? I know. You want this? Go have that. Oh gosh, I don't even know if this is him. sorry. She's a big girl, and she was rolling around on the floor. Guess when I don't have children running around, I have animals. But this, I'm in mid-row, but this is what I have so far. I think it looks so cool. Oh, it looks good on the camera. Okay, the darker part is hard to see with the naked eye, but it looks so good on camera. So yeah, so that's what I have so far. Then there's a middle section where it's the lighter gray and the black, and then you go back to the darker. And this side, I don't think it says much, no. Yeah, this is my floats. I never carry floats. I know that's not good, but I never carry floats. Can't be bothered. I figure if I know that the floats are maybe a bit long, then I can watch out for it. But I don't bother carrying them because it's just... I find if I do carry them, my floats are very tight. I don't know how to not make it tight. And then it messes up the actual knitting. So I guess that is it for general knitting, like the whips and just stuff I talked about before. But this time I have acquisitions. I had bought some yarn since the last time I did a podcast, and it came, and I'm super excited because I haven't actually bought yarn in a while. Before this last yarn I bought was the Fiber Tales yarn back in, I don't know when she did an update, March maybe? It was a while ago, and that was the last time I had bought yarn, and it's still here. It's this stuff. And I felt like I really, really wanted to buy some yarn. Because it had been a while, and I had saw something on Instagram from a woman I follow, and I bought yarn from her. And her name is, let me sec. I have it on a card. I don't want to get it wrong. Yeah, her name is Brittany from Crux Fibers. This is card she sent me. It's bent because my son was playing with it, but I got this adorable little stitch marker. It's hard to tell, but it's sparkly a little bit. It's so cool. I love it. And she wrote me a little note. Oh, it's getting blown out, but she wrote me a little note. And so this is the yarn. I bought 4 of these guys. I bought a sweater's quantity in this because she had posted something on Instagram, and she just showed a picture of this, and I think she had mentioned there was a sale. Was it a sale? Maybe it wasn't. She had posted something, some kind of money off. And she had posted a picture of this colorway, and okay, I love pastels. I love pinks. This is not even just yarn. In general, life. I love pinks. I love pastels. I'm a sucker for those kind of colors. I love rainbow stuff, which comes out a lot in knitting because it's like cozy and colorful all in one. So I love those. But I'm also a super, super sucker for green. I love green yarn. There's just something about looking at it, the coziness, the appearance of forest in it. Like, I gotta show you this. One of these is like really, really on the outside, shows really strongly the color. Oh yeah, this one, I think. Oh, they're so pretty. Look at this. Look at that. And I mean, look how vivid these are. They're so vivid. They're so pretty. And I think they're showing up really good on camera. They're so nice. They smell amazing too. They smell like fresh sawdust and fluffy sheep. You know that sheep smell that most yarns have? Just have that. but they smell like sawdust, and I love to smell sawdust. Anyways, so they smell amazing, they look amazing, they're very soft, even though they're rustic, and they are non-superwash. Crooks Fibers has tons of beautiful, beautiful colorways that are non-superwash. So this is just the first batch I bought. And it relates to that sweater because these are like different tonals of green, and then if you look, you've got the spots of red. And I'll talk about that sweater after, I guess, but it's very similar to the colors of one of the yarns I used to make that sweater. So those guys, and I have two of these, which are rainbow, pastel, rainbow, non-superwash yarn. Like, I could see, I want to squeal. They're so cool. My only disappointment was in myself, as it turns out, because I thought I had bought, there were 4 of these available, and I thought I bought all 4, but I didn't. I only bought 2. So I wanted to make a sweater out of these, so I have to figure something out now, because this is not enough to make me a sweater. I might hold on to them, because I actually did buy her Christmas advent calendar, which I'm really excited about, because I have never had an advent calendar, like a yarn advent calendar, ever, and I've seen them before, and I've never had one. I've always wanted one. So when I saw on somebody else's Instagram that they had showed that she's going to have an advent calendar, I like went, let's do it. And I did it, and I bought it. I bought other yarn too, but none of that's coming until November. So it'll be a while before I can show you that, but maybe I'll hold on to these, and maybe something in the advent calendar, or maybe even other yarn I bought. I can't remember. I think it was like pinks and greens, so maybe it would match well with this. Could use that. So I bought these two, and then I bought this, because I thought, aren't they cute? Oh my gosh, they're so cute. They're all different colors, and I love it because you've got the green, and then this is like a kind of a bluey color, and this is like a dark kind of charcoaly, and then you have the yellow, but then this is like purple and blue, and this is green and cream, and it's got some purple in it. But then you get this guy. Have you ever seen colors like this in a non-superwash yarn before? I haven't. I've only ever seen this in superwash. Right there. You want to say hi? Say hi. Come here. Come say hi. Say hi to everyone. Yeah. I know you don't see anyone, do you? You just see a camera. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come on. I know. Oh, she's shy. I'm sorry. I wanted to see if she would jump up so you guys could see her, because she's a big girl. But she's shy. She looked up at the phone like, who are you talking about? Because there's nobody actually here. But come on, come on, come on. Here, come on. See it? You want it? Come say hi. Oh, there we go. Come say hi. Come on, come say hi. Come say hi. Come say hi. Okay. Anyways, I'm sorry. I was hoping to jump up and you could see her. But I got this too. And these are 7 minis. Oh, that's a good shot. Now you can see them pretty well. So I got these, and they're all non-superwash, and they're very cute, and I thought I wanted to start collecting minis so that I can make something like this for myself. That's not gonna get as much wear as a 3-year-old would have. Oh, come here, come here, come here, come here. Oh, come here. Yeah, whoopsies. Come on. There we go. Now people can see you. You're a big girl. She's 8 months old. She's just a wee girl. Yeah. She's a wee girl. Yeah. You're just a woofy girl. Yes, you're just a woofy girl. if I had left her downstairs by herself, she would have barked through the whole thing. So I had to bring her up here. And it's weird. When she first came in and saw everything set up, she was like, what's going on? Because she's never seen it before. The last time she was elsewhere. So, now she's satisfied. She's lying down. It's turned into a dog podcast and not a knitting podcast. What was I saying? Right, so I got these guys, and I got the other ones, and now I can tell you why these is very similar to my other sweater I have here, just sitting, because, here we go, piled a bunch of yarn on top of it, but here it is. It is a green cardigan that I knitted with a very pretty lace design. This cardigan, I think, was called the Ella Cardigan on Ravelry. I really liked it. It's a bit, I don't know. I've worn this a lot. This was knit out of a superwash sock yarn and a mohair. Now, let's see if I can show you a good example. But if you look, you see the red there? You see the red? And then if you look, it's hard to see because most of the color variation is from the main yarn because they're both variegated green yarns. But the mohair was so much like this with the different greens. The only difference is the mohair had white as well in it. And it so reminded me of like little gnomes. For some reason with the red and all the green and the white, and it reminded me of gnomes. And this, look, it's got the same kind of thing. This colorway, if you are interested, because I love it, I would say definitely get it if you're a green fan of yarn. It is called After the Rain Falls. It is 100% blue faced Leicester and is non-superwash. And this is fingering weight. Yeah. I don't know. I think that's everything I was going to talk about. Yeah, I think that's everything. I guess the one thing I didn't talk about was my tea, which is just peppermint tea. Nothing added, just hot water and peppermint tea bag. It's very good. It's actually, I've just recently sent a package out to a friend of mine who lives in another country, and I wanted to send them the actual tea I'm drinking, but I was informed by my post office, luckily before the package was actually sealed, that you cannot send tea to this country. It was really frustrating because I had packaged it all nice and I had to completely take half of what I had put in that box out. But it worked out because the little guy had gotten sick and he drank peppermint tea and it helped him feel better. So it wasn't a total bummer. Now I'm drinking it and it tastes real good. In a cup that my son picked for me from a thrift store. He saw it and he said, I want to get that for you. And it's just a little Easter cup. But it was really cute and I think it was like $1. I said, yeah, sure. Get that for mommy. It'd be great. This is first time in a thrift store. I'm sorry. This is like story time now. So I've got nothing else knitty to talk about. But it was his very first time in a thrift store. And it was like he went to Wonderland. He wanted everything he saw. And he kept going over to everything and just taking it and be like, I want to get this, Mom. And I'd be like, no. And then he kept going for everything that was like glass. But when we went through the aisle with all the cups, because I was looking for certain things, I wanted to get a basket, because you can usually find woven baskets at thrift stores. And I wanted to get a basket for dog toys, because there's lots of them downstairs, and I wanted something to put them in that would look pretty. I did end up getting a basket, and I'm starting to regret that I left it just for the dog, because it's like, it opens and closes, it has a lid, It's like a picnic basket, and it's really pretty. But within the first 2 days of having it, between the dog and the 3-year-old, there's already bits ripped off of it, and it's not as pretty as it once was, but it does the job. Well, I don't think I have much else to talk about. You may see more yarn soon, hopefully, in the next one of these I do, because I have ordered other yarn that is on its way. It's just not going to be here for at least a couple of weeks. Hopefully I will have certain things done by the next one. Rainbow cardigan should be done. By the end of the month, this guy should be done, because it needs to be done by the end of the month. Yeah. I can finally unravel some of these. When I got these, I got this today in the mail, and I looked at it and I thought to myself, I want to wind that up and play with it. But I didn't, because I wanted to show it off here, and I had to wait all day, and gosh, the sun's not all the way down, but pretty far. Like the sun's not nice and bright blue anymore, and you can probably tell from lighting. But I've been talking for a while. I didn't think this one would be as long. Last one was like 40 minutes, and I couldn't believe how long I talked, and I was so nervous. And I think it showed, but I was really stressed because I know you could hear the little guy in the background, but there's nothing much I could do about it. I couldn't have him in here with me, and I couldn't, like, I wanted to do this, and there was no other time that would be better. So I just went for it, and I say, play in your room, here's just some toys, if you really need me, I'm just here. But he wanted to be in among everything, and he wanted me every few minutes, and I'm like, I can hear, you can hear it on this, and but this time, I guess it was a little bit stressful. I felt better, but I realized with all the animals, there's gonna be disturbances, but I think that's fun disturbances. It's always fun to see a furry friend. With that said, I think I will see you next time, possibly next week. We will see what works. Thank you for watching. If you have watched all of this, thank you very, very much. It means more than I could say to anyone, because I don't expect people to watch me. But if you are, that's so cool, and thank you. And I wish you a good time, existence, because it could be day or night, or weekday or weekend when anyone sees this. So I wish you all the best, and